So
Hey,
now, this is kicking it on the G. We back by popular demands. Now, y'all remember, I think back in like 2020 something, we did an episode and we called it Kicking It
one.
on the G. And ever since we did that episode, people has been asking me about Kicking It on the G. When is it coming back? When is it coming back? When is it coming? What's going on with Kicking It on the G?
Mm,
We're back.
we
During
back.
that time, me and the brother, we have all been on missions, but we've been on the same mission. We just haven't had the opportunity to come together.
Right.
Now we are back. My
Yeah,
brother, take the
yeah,
flow, man. Tell the
yeah.
tell the networkers what you've been doing, man.
Oh man, I'm still a brother of the struggle forever and for always. I'm always a freedom fighter. You understand? Fighting for justice, equality, and peace. Uh, but more so than that, obviously, my people is my religion. And so having said that, I'm always focused on our people, our condition, our position. And for the most part, while I've been, well, it may seem like I've been having a hiatus or nothing, it never stopped. I started, co-founded an organization called Soul, Saving Our Urban Leaders, that will be focused on prisons and prison conditions and what's going on with our brothers and sisters in there and things of that nature. Having stopped in the community work, still having free Larry Hoover, 9 free Jeff Fort 9, Mumia, all Abu Jamal, and all the prisoners of war and things of that nature. And I'm just really honored to be back. To even say that you're saying that the audience said we're back by pop. They wanted us back by popular demand.
That's right. We're back.
And so that right there, just to know that someone want to hear us, want to pay us their attention, that is an honor. Uh, uh, More than the word that I can put together to express. But I do want to say this also while I'm on this honor thing, bro. I don't want to be remiss to say this, bro. What you just did, kicking this show off with that brother Jesse Smith. Y'all know if y'all been following my hashtags, I spring hashtag free Jesse Smith now. That was him, fresh. I hashtag free Eric Smith now as well. Our good brother Stars. But listen, to hear that brother voice, man, that's the first time I got a chance to hear his voice since I, been home or whatever. And I know that brother, like you said, we started out young in the struggle, fighting the system, and trying to aid and assist one another in maintaining our sanity. And he definitely was a brother that was a major player and part in that. And along with you, bro, it's like, man, when I think about what this moment is right now, bro, like, wow, I'm sitting here home, you're at home. I started this journey that journey at 17 years of age when I met you. And when I met you, you was doing the same thing that brother tried to do for me. Teach me and uplift me. And for us to have gone our ways the same way and to end up right back to today that I could say, man, I'm sitting here with a brother that aided and assisted and had a hand in teaching me and the things that people want to give me credit for. That's it for me right there. Let me hit it back to you real quick.
Man, and it's the same way with me because like you say, my story is your story. When I met you, you were 17. I think I was 23. We were still young. We was
Mm-hmm,
children.
mm-hmm,
And we was fighting some serious charges. All of us, me, you, and Fresh, along with everybody else that was there with us. And we went on a journey.
mm-hmm,
And a lot of us served 2 years. I served 15 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections,
mm-hmm,
and came home and wind up going to doing another 13 years in the Federal Bureau of Prison after I came home. But it was during that time that all those years we built these bonds with each other. We built these everlasting bonds. And I want people to understand that when that new concept came out in 1981, that new concept was for brothers like myself, the Sheik, Fresh, Johnny Page, and everybody else that came up in our generation.
mm-hmm.
And now we see that we built these everlasting bonds with each other. And now you look where we at, man. Look at where we at.
Mm-hmm.
So to all the networkers out there, man, to all the networkers, this has to be done from the heart. And I'm not talking about this heart that's pumping the blood. I'm talking about this heart up here. This is what I'm talking about. It has to be done, and it has to be in your mind that you love and you support your brothers and your sisters, and it has to be genuine. Genuine. Yes. So now, bro, there's a lot of issues that's taking place, man, out here in society. A lot of issues with Supreme Court rulings, the so-called Illinois Purge Law. There's a lot of issues that's taking place. So I want to ask you, why is it so important that we be involved in the political process? Why is that so important?
Well, first, let's just off the top of the head, the significance of being engaged and involved with the political process is because it's the laws that governs all the events of our life. The political process sets the limits and the bounds to say what you can and what you cannot do. So through that political process, every aspect of our life is affected. If there's gonna be anything that's affecting my life, then I want to be involved. I want to have a say so.
Now,
so that in this,
a lot of us don't even understand the importance or dynamics of it.
Well, the importance of it again is how it affects our life.
Yes.
And because it affects our life, we have to be involved and engaged in it to have a say so in the things that affects our life. I think today, more so the political or the reason to be involved and engaged with the political process is because everything seems to be either resetting, changing over, and things of that nature. And from the day one, we didn't really have a say so in this political system or political process that was set up. And I think in this regard, in this day and age, we do have that change. That's about what I can cover with that.
I think we do. We do have it, and it's so available for us, but most of us don't understand that it is available. That it is available to us. Like you said, the importance of politics is that it determines on who gets what, when, where, and how. So if we don't understand what we're supposed to have, then we'll never get it. So that's why our direction has always been get our families out to register to vote for this year. Let me show you how important this is political. Let me show you how important politics is. Let's take this situation, man, with Donald Trump. All right. And everybody around him. Look how the government is taking their time with everything they doing with him, right? Here's a man and others around him that basically they say, hey, this is what the politicians are saying. The police, that's what they are, the police. That's what they are saying, that he caused the insurrection, the storming of the Capitol. We have another one of the brothers that came on with our special guest. We got the brother Mike Lee.
Who done got on the gallery with us?
That's Mike Lee.
What's up, bro?
I see you ain't came on the gallery with us, huh? You finna kick it on the G with us, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was some people trying to stop me from kicking it on the G, man. I don't know what happened, man. I couldn't get a signal, man.
Police ass nigga trying to keep somebody.
So let me ask you this here, Mike Lee. We were discussing the importance of politics, right? And you
Yeah.
are our legal expert in this here when it comes to Illinois politics, right? Illinois passed a law a few years ago, and a portion of that law will be going into effect in January of 23. And that law deals with the, what is it, the no bond.
Yeah, the
So
cashless bail.
can you enlighten the networkers on it about this so-called purge law that everybody's getting hysterical and all bent out of shape about?
Okay, I'm gonna start with on February 22nd, 2021, Governor Pritzker signed into law the Safety Act, right? And in the Safety Act, there were certain portions that were effective in 2021. There were certain portions of it that was effective in 2022. But the cashless bail portion of it, the pretrial Fairness Act, it goes into effect in January of 2023. Now, the Republicans are misrepresenting and misleading people and calling it the Purge Law, right? After the movie The Purge, right? So we're going to talk about the Purge real brief, right? In the Purge, crime was legal for 12 or 24-hour period. I don't remember, but it was legal, right? In Illinois, okay, 24 hours. In Illinois, no crime is going to be legal now nor after January of 2023. What they did was they did away with the cash bail system because poor people were disproportionately being affected by the cash bail system. For instance, I've been in the county, and I'm sure both of you brothers been in the county with people who sat in the county on thefts, drug cases, different types of nonviolent crimes, and their bond may have been $200, $300, $500, $1,000, and they would sit in the county for 6 months, sometimes a year or more, right? And they weren't able to come up with the money, right? So the system was geared toward the people with money, right? No matter what the crime was, they could bond out as long as they wasn't given a no bond, right? So what they did was they made the system more fair by taking the cash away. But I'm going to get to the part where it's a disadvantage for people with money now, right? But I believe the fact that they did something for the poor people, right? You know, that's a model that should be followed around the country, right? Now, okay, they did away with cash bails for mostly nonviolent cases, right? Well, it's cashless bail basically. That's the system, right? But it's mostly going to affect non-violent cases, right? Because if you have a forcible felony, or if you have a murder, second-degree murder, which they're misrepresenting that, saying that you could be released for second-degree murder, right? Everybody with violent cases of forcible felonies is going to be given hearings, right? Well, everybody can get a hearing anyway. It's just some hearings are going to be sooner than others, right? But all hearings are going to happen within like a 72-hour period. So you're going to be given a hearing, right? And the state is going to have to prove through clear and convincing evidence that you are a threat to an individual or the community, or that you're a flight risk, right? And then the judge is going to make a decision at that point on whether you are to be detained or not, right? If you are detained, then they're going to periodically have hearings to see if the detention if it's still justified to hold you. So they're going to continue to have detention hearings to see if they're going to release you, right? But most people with forcible felonies are going to have to sit in the county and fight their case, right? And they're not going to have the option of bonding out because there's no cash bond. So they're just going to be detained throughout the proceedings until they go to trial.
Oh,
now,
so
the
hold
ones
on,
who
hold
are
on. So let me ask a question then. So you mean to tell me now that they taking away the cash bonds, right? So that means now that if just say if I go into the county jail now and I have an armed robbery, automatically through the door,
right.
I would not receive a bail, and they're gonna send me to a hearing to determine if I should be released or if I'm gonna be able to sit in the jail.
Right. You're gonna go to jail, but then they're gonna have a hearing within 72 hours, right? And
Right.
what they're gonna do at that hearing, in addition to the clear and convincing evidence pertaining to whether you are a threat to an individual or the community, right? They're also going to bring in Fiji's history, right? Meaning your
Right.
criminal history, right? And the judge
Right.
is going to evaluate that along with whether you're a threat to an individual or the community, right? And at that point, he will make a determination to either detain you or release you. Now, if you are detained, right, then you don't have an option to bond out because it's no cash bail. So you will be detained for the duration of the proceedings, but you will be periodically taken to court for another hearing to see if they're going to release you, right? So, and
Oh, okay.
right, and if you are released, say you are released initially. Well, I want to talk about this for a minute too. Say an individual doesn't have a violent crime, right? They got a theft or one of the crimes is not listed. They have one of them crimes, and they're released, right? Okay, if you catch a felony or a class A misdemeanor while you are on that release, the state can then proceed to have that release revoked, and you would have to sit in the county, right? But they just can't get you for anything. It has to be a felony or a class A misdemeanor in order to revoke your release. So, although the system, right, and I applaud them for doing it, it helps in so many ways. It's also gonna prevent a lot of people from being released who could have
Bonded
bonded
out.
out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. They're not gonna have the ability to bond out. So I mean, it helps in a lot of ways because it helps people. I've seen people, and I felt for them. Like I've seen people sit in the county and just couldn't bond out, and we wonder because we may be fortunate enough to have some people that'll help us, right? We wonder like, damn, how can they sit in the county for $200 or $500? But you got to understand, everybody's not, that goes into our conditions in our communities, etc. Right? But everybody's not fortunate, right? So this really does something for poor people. And at the same time, it puts people who could normally bond out on certain forcible felonies, it puts them at a disadvantage because more than likely they're going to have to sit in the county for however long the proceedings take. So, and also, as I
So let me ask
said,
this
like,
question. So let me ask this question, Dad.
okay,
So just say if
okay,
a rich politician kills or kills his wife or whatever, right? And he's able
yeah.
to bond out. Would he be able to bond out?
No, he's being
No,
detained.
because he's not. He's not gonna be. He can't be given a bond. It's no cash bonds, so it's no ability to even give him a bond for him to be able to bond out. Now, what would happen in that case, right? Yeah. Now, what would happen in that case, right? Which is still the unfairness of the system is that rich white man who you talking about who kills his wife, right? What they're gonna say, or his attorneys are gonna present is he's not a threat to an individual. Yeah, he's accused of killing his wife, but he's no threat to he's an upstanding citizen and he could be released. And that person can then possibly from a judge be released with no money. You know what I'm saying? So then he would fight his.
As you saying
Okay.
that, if you think about it, even the big fear is they let all these people out, all this crime is going to happen, right? And it's going to affect the public, and it's going to come to a suburbs near you. As if let's think of the cash bail system as it is right now. If someone bonds out for murder, that does not guarantee the public safety.
No.
It ain't got nothing to do with that. The only thing that they consider right now with the cash bail system is, are you a flight risk and are you going to return back to court?
Right.
That's it.
Right. Yeah, so So the misinformation pertaining to the purge, right? Like that's dangerous. That's dangerous because it makes people think if a person don't have the ability to really do research or a person don't know, and if somebody don't inform them, right, then a person that's watched the purge, right, would think that they can go out and commit a crime. No, you go out and commit a crime. You may be released. You may be released on a cashless bail, right? But if you're found guilty of committing that crime, you're going to prison.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with cash. Your ability to not be in the county, you're going to go to prison for committing that crime. So,
Right.
The actual portion of the Safety Act, the Pretrial Fairness Act, only deals with cash bond. It doesn't deal with crime or whether a crime is legal or a classification of a crime.